Hey guys, it's Josh here and welcome back to another video. Today I thought I'd change it up a little bit and show you guys 15 mods that I use which, in my opinion, significantly improve your overall gaming experience. The first mod on the list is called the Internal Mood Names Pack. Oh my goodness. Basically what it does is it takes all the stronger emotions in the game and gives them completely new names. So for example, if your sim is very playful, they now become silly. And if your sim is very flirty, they become passionate. And for another example is if they're very angry, they become furious instead. It's a very small change, but to me, it makes the game feel a little bit better. The second mod, which I can quite easily show right now, is called the Uncomfortable Overhaul mod. Basically what it does is when your sim is uncomfortable, half the time it will now just boost the current negative moodlet you have. So for example, if your sim needs to go to the bathroom, instead of having a separate moodlet that once makes them feel uncomfortable, it just gives them the same moodlet but it boosts their current negative moodlet. So if they were sad, I'm pretty sure that would be boosted by needing to go to the toilet, and if they're tense, that would also boost tense as well. So basically it just makes the moods a lot stronger if your sim is uncomfortable, like the negative moodlets only. I hope that was kind of easy to understand. Number 3 is the No Happy Environments mod. So as you can probably tell by the name, what it basically does is that all decorations in the game that give happy moodlets as an aura no longer emit happy auras. So basically if your sim is within range of, maybe, I'm sure some of these would be giving happy auras, but that's no longer the case, so that basically when your sim is indoors, they won't always be happy just because the house is nice. Which I think makes the game a bit better because your sim won't be happy all the time, which was always a problem for me when I first started playing the game, because it was kind of weird just for your sim to be happy unless like they weren't in the house and I don't know, they got into a fight or something. But even when your sims got into a fight inside, they'd still be quite happy because like they'd probably get like a +2 happy emotion just from being in a lovely house. Anyway, that's the second mod. It's a small mod, but again, it really improves my gaming experience. The next mod is a fairly big mod, and it's called the True Happiness mod. Basically what it does is it changes most happy moodlets and makes them into fine moodlets instead. So most of the time your sim will be feeling good and be fine instead of being happy all the time, because being happy all the time is quite unrealistic if you ask me. So your sims will only become happy when they actually have a good day. So from the website it says, your sim might be having a day that's merely okay until something special happens, like a new friend, a promotion, or a first kiss. Then they truly feel happy for once. You'll be happy for them too, because that good mood might be the push they need to make today's painting a masterpiece or improve their grade at school. So yeah, basically this means your sims will be happy a bit less during their days, therefore increasing the significance of being happy and actually making it feel like a special mood. The next few mods I mentioned will be some of my favourite mods from Little Miss Sam. So this first one I'm going to mention is called the No Shoes at Home mod, and it's part of Little Miss Sam's random small mods collection. So basically what it does is when your sim is outside, they'll put their shoes on, and when they're basically when they're not inside at home, they'll put their shoes on. It takes a bit of time, but once they go outside for a little bit, they put their shoes on, and then when they head back inside, they shall take their shoes off. And to me, this is an absolutely amazing mod, because like it was always so weird when your sim would go to take a nap and they'd literally leave their shoes on, which is a bit weird because like why would you put your shoes on your bed? But now when they take a nap or when they're inside, they take their shoes off, and you'll actually be able to see your sim's socks for once if they wear any. As you can see, my sims aren't, but yeah, it's a very small mod, but for me it's so awesome. I don't know why, it's just so cool. The second one by Little Miss Sam is the More Servings and Mealtime Menus mod. So when your sim wants to have dinner, if you're sick of always having leftovers, you can actually go ahead now, and when you try and serve a meal, it'll open up a menu instead, and you'll be able to select anything you like, and most of the time all of them will have serving sizes of 1 all the way up to 8 instead of just incremental by 4. So like if we've got 4 people, so we would be able to use the vanilla 4, but say if we had 3 people in our family, you can go ahead and make 3, so you'll have no leftovers and you'll save money as well, because it looks like the prices are all like incremental as well. So I don't know, you could have 6 and then you'd have 2 left over for later. But like if you had 6 people in your family, that would be awesome to just cook the exact amount you want. And after this mod, there's another one by Little Miss Sam called Sleep or Night mod, and what it basically does is that even if your sim is fully awake during the middle of the night and they're sleeping, they won't wake up until they need to, because their needs low or because you want them to wake up. So it's a really good mod, because I had so much trouble when I was playing through that. My sims would like wake up in the middle of the night basically because they had full energy, and it was quite annoying because I'd have to keep sending them to bed because I didn't want to like play during the night. I wanted to sleep all night like in real life, instead of having to wake up and like suddenly like go start playing computer games or watching TV or something random. So this just fixes that basically, and just makes it so your nights are a lot calmer, and you'll become the day a bit quicker because you won't have to keep sending your sims to sleep. Moving on from Little Miss Sam's mods, the next mod I really like is called the Working Medicine Cabinets mod. What it does is, when your sim is sick, instead of always having to like annoyingly go through all the menus at the computer and order it and then go back into your inventory and pick the medicine out and drink it, you can now best just go to your any mirror. Generally I usually try and keep it to one of these mirrors and just take medicine like this. So there's only one menu you have to go through. You don't have to go through the process of going to the computer, then your inventory. He isn't actually sick, but I'm pretty sure he'll still go and do it. So basically, they can simply just walk up, pay the medicine cabinet, and they can get a drink. And they'll feel better in no time. But he feels a bit sad because he didn't really need it. And the next mod is the Packing Crates mod. So as you can probably tell by the name, you can get an object from the buy menu. There's actually 2 options, I believe. So there's this regular packing crate, and then there's a different shaped one. They both work the same. So there's this packing crate and the other one. They have the same function. So what you can do is you enable packing like I did earlier, and then you can just start packing away. So you can, if your sim wants to move out, they can just pack what they want instead of having to take their whole inventory or whatever. So you can just, oops, the packing crate. After I pack all these objects up, I shall move Michael here to a new house, and I can show you the unpacking process as well. So just pack everything up. Oops, I did not want to do that. Packing crate. Yeah, so but basically we've all packed up. Then you disable packing, and you can just drag it into your inventory, and everything that you've stored in it is still in here. So I shall move house, and I'll be right back. We have arrived at Michael's new house, and Olivia has come to help him unpack. So basically, to unpack, what you do is you just drag out the packing crates that you packed earlier on the other lot, and you just open it and start unpacking by placing it in the world. It does sometimes, if you've got paintings and stuff, it does like not place, but it gets put into your family inventory. So just quickly just unpack everything. I think the recent update actually just made it lock onto a random wall nearby, so you just keep doing this. It's actually pretty cool how it just surrounds the box. It's quite interesting. You just do everything like this, and then it might actually like end up, oh no, it looks like all the paintings are still here. So what you do is just do that, and then you can just delete the crate afterwards if you like, and you're free to just move everything around freely and put them in your house, which would probably go upstairs. So yeah, that's basically the simple but effective crate packing mod. The next mod actually changes how the map looks, which is actually quite awesome. So far I've gotten 4 of these. I couldn't find any more, but I believe there's a Willow Creek one which subtly changes all the roads, and I think it changes the slight color of the map as well. Oasis Springs is one of my favorites because it does add the grassy areas that these 2 areas have, which I think is a bit weird that it was left out from the original, because like there's heaps of grass here, but yet in the vanilla map there was no grass to be seen. That's pretty awesome. Newcrest has one too. So Newcrest has a lot more roads just going around everywhere, and little bits of I don't think those were in the original, so those are there as well. And the last one I think was Mongolia Promenade. So it just adds the like all of the pathways instead of it being green like it normally is, which I think is awesome. that's a simple mod, it just changes the aesthetics, but it makes the game feel a little bit better because the maps are slightly more representative of what you actually get when you load in, which is, to my opinion, pretty helpful. So the next few mods involve cast, so we shall jump right in. So the two mods I'm going to mention right away are the Immersive Lighting and Create a Sim Backgrounds mod, which is part of IllogicalSims Cast Overhaul version 2, which basically Immersive Lighting just changes the lighting up, which makes it slightly more well lit and makes the sim, it creates a more, IllogicalSims explained it as creating a better sense of depth compared to the EA's default lighting, which I think looks really good. And the Create a Sim Backgrounds, this one is the pastel blue gradient. There are many other options. I think there's 12 in total. So if you want to have a look at those, there's several other options instead of this blue one as well. And the next mod, it's not by IllogicalSims, but it's called the More Cast Columns mod, and it adds heaps more columns. So by default there is 2, and if you have a big screen, it's a bit tedious to have to scroll through heaps. Like, this basically halves the amount of scrolling you have to do because it doubles the width. So it's really awesome. Makes it a lot easier to navigate through all of your clothing options, even when you have custom content. It makes it heaps better because, like, when you have lots and lots of custom content, I don't have lots, but I know some people have a lot, and this would help them heaps, and I definitely recommend it if you do not have it. But I think lots of people already have it, but in case you don't, I've showed it to you guys, which is, I think it's awesome. So we're back in game now for a few more of Little Miss Sam's awesome mods. The next one I'm going to mention is called the Go to Bed mod, or Send to Bed mod rather, which basically, if you like having Sims over to stay the night every now and then, and you're annoyed that your Sims, the other Sims that you have over don't go to sleep during the night and you can't skip it, this actually helps so much because say if you have, I don't know, a friend sleeping over, Lucas Munch, you can actually, instead of waiting for him to get tired, you can click on the bed, send to bed, click on whoever you want to go to sleep, and they head straight there and end up sleeping. And if you've got the Sleep All Night mod, this affects them too. So yeah, you'll end up having a very peaceful and skippable night, which is very helpful when you're trying to play. And yeah, they end up going to sleep, and then you can, I guess a monster, oh my goodness, a monster just happened to appear. But yeah, you can, this works for adults as well. So like if you've got a guest bedroom and you've got like a family member staying over the night, you can send them to sleep if they're not part of your family. Well, if they're not part of your current household, which I think is very, very awesome. The final mod I'm going to talk about today is called the Wolf Greetings Nuka. Basically what it does is, you know how when your Sims meet someone for the first time that day, generally they like do some kind of handshake or a hug or something, even though you didn't really ask them to do it? This mod actually removes those so that when you actually click on a Sim to like talk to them or brighten their day, it just skips that and they actually just go straight to talking to them, because it's kind of a bit annoying for them to always do that, especially when your Sim could be like sitting at a TV or having dinner at a dinner table. Like, even if they're having dinner, if you like try and interact with a Sim that you haven't talked to that day, they'd literally stand up, hug, and just like stay standing and like continue to like stand and eat, which is a bit weird. So yeah, it basically removes those. So it's a very small mod, but it's like really helpful, especially like when you're trying to manage a large family, because like I've had times when I've had like 4 Sims sitting at a table and I just want them to start chatting to each other, and then they literally all stand up and like they just end up like migrating to the kitchen to like just stand in a random spot instead of actually just talking at the table like regular civilized beings during a family dinner. So yeah, basically that's basically what it does. So I'll leave it at that for today. I'll link every single mod I mentioned in the video in the description below for you guys to download if you wish. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you think, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!